Thanks to our friends Rich and Tanya, they've loaned us this really big trailer, and this is the first of probably several loads, I'm guessing, although we have got a large amount of rubbish, but there will be at least another tip run, I'm sure. So yeah, just accumulation of rubbish as we've been going through, and thankfully it's been a great place to be able to put everything in as we go. And now head off to the tip. Probably couldn't have picked a worse day to go. It's in the mid 30s and it's high winds and it's going to be horrendous. They're predicting a thunderstorm later. Hopefully we're well and truly done by the time that comes through. Joe's just finishing tying it down because of the high winds. Don't want anything flying out. And just like that, that's that load finished. Now we're heading back to do it all over again. Well, it's been an absolute mammoth day today and an humongous achievement. So we did some grooming work first thing this morning, and then as you've just seen, we went off to the tip and did a huge trailer tip run. We came back and you also just saw we cleared out the garage, and which was a nightmare in itself, and made room for all our boxes, which we've moved, that were piling up under our poor alfresco. And we were originally looking at hiring a pod, which is a company that comes to you and you can put all your boxes into the pod of your size choosing, and then they take it away and store it for you until you're ready to bring it back, which would ideally be when we've sold and ready to move and have trucks and things here to come and take everything else away. So that's sort of the idea of the pod, to get rid of your cluttered boxes and so forth, but you've got costs involved and things like that. So now that we've cleared up our garage and we actually have a heap more space, so there's a lot more space over in this section here than what it looks at the moment. We've just taken all the existing paint things that we're using. I can't think of words. Sorry, I'm so exhausted. It's not funny. But trays. So all our paint sitting out here at the moment. So we just sort of have cleared the area of the house. We've already, you saw the huge trailer load that we filled up today, and just from clearing out the garage, we've already got a heap more in the trailer ready for the next tip load when we do it. So we've just work on filling that up. As you can see, we've moved out from the alfresco area all the boxes, so they've nicely stacked in here now, so that's a really good usable space. And we've given a really good clean up out here too, and made things just a little bit more organized that we'll work out of. So I'm just going to rip you through. The alfresco is not complete, ready for styling yet, but at least like we have our house back. Like, this was insane. We couldn't move in here, but we actually can move down here now, which is lovely to be able to work with and continue to work with. Now I've still got to work out here and get this ready for finishing touches and styling, but wow, you could not literally move out here for the amount of boxes that we had piling up to the rafters, and they've all been cleaned out now. And yes, you can hear it's raining again. It just never ends nowadays here. We've left this out because we still need to do work out in the alfresco to finish it off, but like a mammoth task has been achieved in just getting this whole area cleared out and ready, so that when it comes to coming out here to finish the styling and get the alfresco finished, this is just going to make life so much easier. And we'll just continue on working on the other rooms now, but it just makes all the difference being able to work in a clean environment around you and not stepping over boxes and not being able to move. So you feel like you're really achieving something now by having all this area cleared out, which is lovely. So we'll keep on working. We're going to have a bit of a break tomorrow afternoon because we've been so hard at it, and just sort of refresh, get together with some friends, and just have a bit of a relax and a night off tomorrow night, because we've been just so busy. But I'm stunned at how much we've actually managed to achieve today, which is brilliant. Especially the weather was not kind to us today. It's raining now, but during the day it was 35-degree heat. The wind was 100-kilometre winds in some parts. We found out an hour after we'd been to the tip, they actually closed it early because it was too dangerous to continue to operate with the wind so extreme. You're throwing things in and they were just blowing back at you. So we were really fortunate to be able to get our tip run done before they shut it because of the weather conditions. And then we were also fortunate to be able to clear out all our garage and do all of that before these storms and rain hit as well. So we're getting there. It's a push, but we're getting there. And so far we're still on our target to be able to be ready to try and hit the market by Christmas time. But we will see. And another room is now complete. This is the third bedroom set up as a study or craft room. And I did not think that we would have this finished by the end of this weekend with everything else we'd done. And we managed to have last night off, which was a bonus. So it's an absolute win, and we're on track to have the house ready by Christmas. All right, now we're on to our ensuite, and you can hear Jay working away in the background there, and between jobs he's already jumped on and started pulling the downlights down to spray those and prepping the walls so we can do a quick declutter this evening, and then look at trying to get this hopefully knocked over really quickly. And you'll see this shower I mentioned, this is a shower I mentioned earlier in one of my videos, that 12 months ago we had this regrouted, so it was nice and white looking again. And as you can see, even though that has been scrubbed and cleaned, those dark grout lines you just can't seem to get out. So I'm going to do the same process with the grout paint between this shower, and that's going to bring it up $1 million, and a really good clean out of that extraction fan, and once we've painted in here as well, and like I said, just given it a really good declutter, everything's going to look absolutely brilliant and heaps better in here. And then into our master. So again, there's decluttering to do, but then we've got to paint, and he'll do the same treatment on the ceiling heater ducts and the evaporative cooling ducts as well there. And then inside that nightmare is our walk-in robe, which I can't wait to actually declutter that, because that's going to look, it's actually a really big wardrobe, walk-in robe, but at the moment it's a disaster. So I'm going to show you. So, yeah, that's going to look a whole lot different when I'm done with it. So happy days. And all being well, we might be on track to actually have the interior finished by the end of this week. We'll see. And then it's just working on the outside, but it's just going to depend on the weather, because it's continually raining, and that's okay while we're working inside, but once we come to the outside, but then the next couple of days the forecast will be really hot as well. So we'll just keep going and see if we can make it to our deadline. I thought that I would share a handy little bit of information that if any of you might find yourself in the same situation, it's what we did. We had our very original shower head in the main ensuite shower, had a different type of like a railing system, and we changed it a few years ago, and it left these couple of brackets that had been screwed into the tiles, that it wasn't able to be used with the new type of system that we changed over. So we always had these kind of like brackets just sticking out, and we never wanted to take the screws out and remove them, because it would have left holes in the tiles and made a worse mess. And we were pondering as to what to do, because I never really liked it. I thought it was a little bit ugly. But they came in really handy as like a hook to hold your face washes and sponges and things like that. So we were discussing it the other day, and I said to Jason that maybe we can dress them up and make them look a bit more pretty and like they're meant to be there. So I'm going to show you, first of all, this is the type of unit that I'm talking about that was left behind. So you can see there, that's that was the new system, and it left two of these sticking out. And they were like a brown color, so they just looked really odd and out of place. So the other day, Jason thought about spray painting them white to see what they might look like and blend a bit better in with the tiles. And it looked a bit better, but it always looked unfinished, like something needed to be capped off and made it complete. And as soon as I described to Jason what I wanted to try and achieve, he looked up with Bunnings and found immediately the perfect solution. And we've just gone out and got them, and it's like they were meant to be. So we already had some silver spray paint, because the other accessories are all in chrome. I wanted it to be in chrome as well to make it look like it's meant to be there. So he's like literally just sprayed that, the end, which will be the hook section, and there's a bit of overspray, but that cleans up with a razor blade and so on, so he'll clean that up. And then we bought this cap that looks like that. So now, after spraying it and putting the cap on, it actually looks like it's part of the shower and meant to be. So you can see there's the original one at the top and there's the other one. So now, once they're both sprayed on and complete, he will silicone this cap on here. So these caps were about $2.50 from Bunnings. And you can see how much more polished now and finished it makes it. So he'll silicone that on to hold it nice in place. And it's now become a couple of, or will become a couple of beautiful looking accessory hooks that look like they're meant to be there. And this is before our declutter of the theatre room. So we had already previously done half the walls, but we obviously need to, as I said, declutter, do the ceilings and paint the remainder of the walls. After a massive week of grooming, this is what we've continued to do and where we're at. So we have set our date and we have exactly 1 week today until the photographer is booked and coming out to do all the photography for the boards and the actual online advertising and everything. So we are absolutely under the pump, and this is like just under 1 week until Christmas. So I know, crazy, but it is what it is. So we have been pumping away. There's one tiny thing we want to finesse in our ensuite, but that is basically done. And I will be able to show you pictures of that once we should finish that off tomorrow, the final bits and pieces. As you can see, Jason has been working away at getting the paintwork on the actual ceiling. So I'm pretty sure the ceiling's now finished. He's got the vents out and has done the treatment as he's done with every other room at the moment. He's already done the lights in here as well and sprayed them, so they're ready to go. So this should be completed by tomorrow at least, the main room. And then I have been, I thought it was going to be relatively easy, but it actually didn't turn out that way. Our walk-in robe had so much stuff in it that I had to go through and detract, remove, filter out, box. So this is the product of all the work that I've been doing in here as far as decluttering now. So what I've actually, it still needs to obviously be painted. We used to have a security system going through the ceiling there, so that needs to be repaired as well. But considering what it was, it's come up really, really well. And I think once we've painted it, given it a good vac out and a clean, it's become a beautiful space and just shows the true size of this large walk-in robe that it is. And I've been able to put our full-length mirror in here as well, and I'll display that nicely. So, wardrobes in their own right aren't generally a pretty place to look at, but I think considering where it was, it's come a really long way, and it's going to look magnificent when it's finished and presented. So that's where we're at the moment. As I said, it's been an absolutely massive week, the second last week leading up to Christmas for the grooming side of things, which it always is, and next week is no better. So we've just got to work with the little limited time frame we have left, as well as keeping to our family Christmas functions and things that are all going on at this time of year as well. So it really limits us to the amount of time that we have left to do everything. So really tomorrow is kind of make or break to try and finish most of the things. When I get some daylight, I'll take you out the back and show you around. The back is pretty much finished. We might have had to pay the teenager and friends to weed and finish out the back area, but they've done an absolutely magnificent job. And when it is daylight, as I said, I will show you how it looks out there. I sort of finessed and finished it off, but they have saved us a huge amount of time and stress in getting that side of things finished. So we'll see how tomorrow pans out. My car, I believe, is actually ready to be picked up and been repaired, so we've got to rush off and pick up that first thing in the morning as well. So that's sort of cutting in to our day to be able to do everything. So it's going to be a big push tonight to continue to go on. I'm now going to head on into the back room and start decluttering that and getting that ready for painting. So it's going to be probably another late night tonight and a pretty hectic day tomorrow. So we'll see where we're at by the end of the weekend. So a few years back when we were completing the alfresco out here, we had started to do the screens, which I'll show you over this end. And Jason actually built these on his own for this alfresco. They actually, the slats tilt and maneuver depending on the way that the wind was coming in to deflect the wind when you were in the spa area. But and we originally had all intentions to finish those all along the rest of the screen wall that you just saw. However, they're quite expensive to make because they're out of Merbau. Jay was never completely happy with the way that they bowed a little bit after a while, and we needed to finish this area off because, as you can see, it's still too raw and unfinished looking. So we had some painted black beams from like up on the rafters that we had left over, and we were going to do some screening all the way along to finish off the top. So instead, Jason's come up with the idea to actually use those as a frame, and we've just got some more fly mesh, black fly mesh behind, or shade cloth I should say, and so he's going to pin that behind to dress it a bit more and then finish it on the outside with the black timber framing, and hopefully that'll make that area then much more polished and finished off. And then we've just got to clean it all up out here, and I've got to get the gurney on that deck over there where it's a bit algae's grown. So that's the next sort of project that we're working on during the daylight while we can make some noise, and then we'll move back in to finish the rooms at night. Strangely, I'm feeling really good today. I've dropped my paintbrush at 3 a.m. last night, in amongst babysitting our beautiful grandson as well for the evening. That was on and off, so I pushed. Jay kept pushing, and then when I could join him, I kept going till 3. We were till 2 a.m. the night before. And it's really odd because I've woken up feeling quite fresh, pep in my step, had a nice hot shower, got all the aches out, and this evening I'm really looking forward to our family Christmas gathering. It is the week before Christmas and our family gets together. Our immediate family for our Christmas celebration. So I'm actually really pumped. So we're going to try and push this out and make a massive ditch effort to have it done, because then Jay will have a chance to actually come out to the Christmas evening, because otherwise he would have to stay and miss out to keep getting it finished in time for the photographer next Friday. So I thought if I can just keep pushing, and then he might actually be able to join us. And we were in the middle of doing the work outside. Come on, I'll show you. And we've got all the outside cleaned up. Wait till you see this disaster at the moment. I cannot believe in a week this is going to be showroom ready. But anyway, there's our wardrobe at the moment. But yeah, we're in the middle of finishing up and getting the outside ready. And Jay got the gurney out to clean all the algae off the deck, and the gurney broke. It just died. We've had it for 8 years, so I guess it was due, but I really didn't need it to be due right now. So he's had to do a mad dash out to Bunnings this morning to buy a new gurney so we can try and get this deck cleaned up. So wait till you see how that's going to turn out, because it's going to look amazing when it's finished. So that's not ideal to have to run out, but that's typical of how things go here. Nothing comes easy. And now the master bedroom is finally complete. The walk-in robe. Even space in here for the full-length mirror. Well, this is a whole lot different. Back out here. And into the ensuite bathroom. It's all cleared, painted, cleaned, and the shower has come up beautiful. There's a grout paint, and those accessory holders that we've created look fantastic and part of the shower now. That. Beautiful. Vents all cleaned out. And that's the entire master suite complete. We're getting there. So the grooming salon, we are just going to leave on advice and continue to keep running as the salon while we still have the business. So what we have to do in here is give it a really good clean, because everything is quite just dusty and a bit grotty from just the general day-to-day. So we're not actually going to paint, but I do need to clean, and you can see from the ducts up there, I need to actually get Jason to spray both those ducts. I'll show you up there as well. So he needs to clean and spray those. But you can see on the wall the difference. So on the left, a few weeks ago, I was trialing out my degreaser hack that I found out, which is just the combination of water and dishwashing liquid in a spray bottle. And that's become my gold all-purpose cleaner. And so I tried it out on the walls, and you can see what an incredible difference that made just from using that and the back of a sponge and just giving it a wipe down. So I'm going to have to wash down all these walls and everything in here and just give it a really nice clean and scrub up, which sounds like it's an easy job, but it's a huge task. Those windows, the blinds need to come off, and need to gurney down those fly screens as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a job, but I'm hoping I might be able to get it all through it tonight, and then at least that's another part of the house complete. And this is the last main room that we need to actually finish off with painting, and Jay's just sprayed all the downlights in here and waiting for the duct to dry. It is resprayed, but he's then finished with the ceiling, and we've just got to finish off the painting of the wall, clean it all up, and finesse it, and then that will be it for the actual renovation side of work inside the house anyway. And the theatre room is now complete. It is almost 1 a.m. on the Tuesday before Christmas, but this is the final piece of the puzzle. Jason has done an amazing job with the paintwork. I finished off some styling, giving it a good clean, and this is done. So as far as paintwork is concerned, before we can actually put down the brushes for good for this house, in the daytime when we can find a spare moment, we need to just run around on every wall and every ceiling and every part, and just make sure that in the daylight we haven't missed anything. We're getting there. As I said, it is very wee early hours of Wednesday morning, and the photographer will be here on Friday evening. So we've got things planned. So basically tomorrow evening is it to try and finish off the majority of the cleaning and getting the house ready.